When it comes to attraction, most men think about looks in particular. And of course they do. For men, logically, looks and external validation is the main form of attraction. Most guys, when they see girls, they immediately want to go for the prettiest one. It's just how we are hardwired. So of course for men, we think that looks is the main form of attraction. So we start hitting the gym, we start dressing well, we start buying expensive cologne, and even though we are going on this brilliant health improvement journey, which has its own positive benefits, we still get ghosted and they still get ignored. And why is that? Now, it's because when it comes to winning over women, attraction isn't the goal. It's addiction. You need to get a girl addicted to you. See, a woman might be attracted to a guy for a night, maybe even a few weeks, but the real power comes into when she can't stop thinking about you, because women are fickle and women get bored, okay? When your presence is burned so deeply into her mind that no other man is going to feel the same to her, that is when you are on a win. And this is achieved with a deep psychological hack that is called emotional imprinting. And I've learned how to use this, and I'm going to teach you so that you never have to chase women again after the initial attraction. She is going to be the one chasing you. She is going to be the one addicted to you. Now, first I need to cover some of the science of emotional addiction and why people get truly obsessed with something. You see, it's not logical. It's not the way that men logically see things, okay? It's not physical attraction. It's about emotional intensity and emotional experiences, okay? Think of the most unforgettable moments in your life. Were they calm? Were they predictable? Were they routine? The chances are they were filled with emotional highs and emotional lows, with tension and excitement. We remember the low parts of our life, but we remember the peaks of our life as well. We remember emotion, and we will remember not necessarily what people say, but the way that they make us feel. And the way that people make us feel is what we get attached to. And that's why we want to hang out with our friends, because they make us feel good. We don't want to hang out with other people that make us feel bad, but we remember these emotional highs and lows, okay? We get addicted to emotion. And so if you can make a woman feel deeply about you, she is going to crave that like a drug, okay? This is why toxic relationships are so hard for people to walk away from, because they create such emotional highs and lows, okay? They're addictive. And we've all been in toxic relationships before. They're hard to walk away because when they're good, they're amazing. And when they're bad, they're awful. But there's something weirdly addictive still of those emotional lows. And that's why women get so obsessed over emotionally unavailable men, because it messes with their brains. And these unavailable men come across as rare and valuable. Now, here's the thing. I'm not telling you to go out there and be a jerk or a toxic person, because I don't believe in becoming toxic to get results. I still think you need to have some form of integrity if you're going out and doing this. I also believe that there's an element of, if you ever hook up with someone, you want to leave them better than how you found them, okay? You want to give them a positive experience. But at the same time, to get to these positive experiences, it's important to understand how to create these emotional highs and lows. Otherwise, you're never going to get to that point where you can hook up and create a positive memory. You're just going to be another forgettable person. So how can we make the deepest connection she's ever had? And we want to make it fairly quick. The thing is, women are kind of used to surface level conversations like, what do you do for fun? Or where are you from? Or what do you do? She'll lose interest in that. It feels like a job interview and they're kind of boring. But if you want an emotional experience, okay, especially to create emotional imprinting, you're gonna have to go deeper. You don't want to just be talking about her favorite movies. You want to ask her, why does she love them? you want to ask her, why does she feel like that? Why does she have that connection to this particular subject? And that's why particular games like the Cube, where we do the Cocoology and kind of ask them about themselves and start psychoanalyzing them, that's when we start creating deeper levels of connection, because we're not just talking about surface level things, we're talking about what makes her, her, and it's going to start pulling out these emotions from her, out of her subconscious, and she's going to start thinking of those positive feelings, or maybe even the fact that she feels she can open up to you, and she's going to start relating these positive experiences to you. And that's where the imprinting comes in. There's a very good chance that this woman, or most women that you speak to, do not have these intense emotional conversations really early on. They start having that when they're deep into a relationship. But that depth is something that they crave. So if you're able to create that conversation within the first time of meeting her, you are going to be imprinted on her really quickly. And I remember having so many girls come up to me saying, I can't believe you psychoanalyzed me on the first day. I remember this conversation we had when I first met you. They remember our first interaction. And that's where we go to the next part of creating lasting impressions. What is the secret of lasting impressions? Well, here's the thing. Contrasting principles is you can't feel highs without feeling lows. In an action movie, if something explodes all the time, you're going to get bored, okay? If it's just bang, bang, bang all the time, all those high energy moments, they're not fun unless you have a bit of a dip. So what makes these moments fun and exciting is you need to create a sense of tension. And the easiest, quickest way to create a sense of tension and create that want from her, that little chase, is to not always be available. If you're always available, if you're always sweet, if you're always predictable, there is no contrast. But if you give her a mix of warmth with a challenge, you're going to create a deep connection with mystery. And that is going to get her hooked. She is going to wonder, why does he understand me so deeply? How is he able to figure out so much about me? But where is he? I still want more. I want that deeper connection. People love learning about themselves and learning about each other, but as long as it's deeper, if you keep things at a surface level and you just keep things polite, you're never going to spring her emotions in the way that is going to have her emotionally imprint onto you. You want to be creating irreplaceable experiences. Now, they don't have to be massive explosions of energy all the time, but creating those deep connections, it's so much easier than you realize, okay? Once you have a particular script, once you know what questions to ask, once you know how to listen to her and use the information she's given you in a particular way, it's going to trigger her emotions in ways that you will never believe. And it's so much easier than you realize. And that, accompanied with the scarcity trigger, where she feels like she's going to lose you, she's going to crave those deep emotions, and she's going to go chasing after you because she doesn't want to lose you. It's the power of emotional imprinting. And then when you couple that with push-pull, you're going to be unforgettable to her. And with that, I'm going to close this video. If you found any value out of it, drop a comment, drop a like, maybe subscribe. If there's anything that you want me to cover a little bit more in detail, I love talking about subjects like this. I love talking about psychological analyzing of the female brain and getting into her psyche. It's a way to find out what makes men attractive to women, and a lot of the time, it's just from logical to emotional misunderstandings that men just don't realize because, of course, we're logical beings and women are far more emotional. And when we start triggering those emotions in them, we're going to be incredibly powerful. So until next time, guys, go out there and keep on seducing.